What's going on, guys? Brandon from More Than Trading here. Let's do a little market recap here. Taking out the day. Checking out this TWOU trade here and called this $12 and $13 bounce range. This thing is down insane right now. So catching a little couple point bounce play on here. Kind of a no-brainer. Weekly 20-year chart here. $12 low and squeeze. So not a bad little call there. We're watching it. I unfortunately did not get a piece of this one, but let's get into some of these daily notes posted an hour before market open here. You can check these out. We're going to run through here, pause it, check them out, read them, do whatever you got to do to check out this accuracy. So as we're going to go through, hour before market open release, we're going to talk about Apple. Swung the earnings, grabbed the last higher low potential double bottom here right around that 207 range, and then got it a little early in the after hours game here for over 900, so that wasn't bad. Pretty volatile here. Red green, obviously pretty big supports hit there, but we had a very nice 4-hour overlay snap and then came right back up. Then we traded this one in this morning. So Apple ER action glued to 217, 218, 200 EMA hold long. Our pullback to a major weekly support of 216.20. So we had a no hold of the 200 EMA here pre-market, pulled right back to the 216.20, 30, real close there, but about 8 cents within call. So spiked right up at that weekly level that we had, and then we had a couple different resistance plays here up on the top. We gave it to about 219 and some change. I deleted the resistance line for whatever reason. We just had a private lesson, so that might be why it's not on here. But it was just under 219, so long from here, and just under 219 or 220, just under 220, right at 219. Right here was the out. This is where the resistance play was. Did squeeze up a little bit past that, but unfortunately trailed all the way back down to the big weekly level, which we're hitting now right here. So potential bounce plays coming right there. Now back calling Apple for the pre-market watch. Facebook 197 hold on the road back up to the 200 long. So that's what the play was on Facebook here today. We had a very monster weekly support. We looked for the recovery of the 197, so it was pretty far away for that 197 recovery because we dumped off in the morning here. So this play wasn't a major that we had watched because of the dump out in the morning, but the 197 came up right here at the opening price, yesterday's close, and the pre-market low snap, squeezed up huge and then recovered. So no real play there on that one, but we did have a definite progression play off weekly support there. Not bad. AMD, right from the daily watches. Weekly level is 3270. If this acts as resistance on the daily chart, the big M will play out, and I'm only looking for a down only move after ER. So the 3270 I had mentioned in the notes there on AMD's weekly acted as resistance. We would look for a downward move right out the gate, right down, and target some of these low wicks down here. And you can see you had a really nice dump there in AMD. The 3270 did act as resistance on the weekly, popped up, and right down to some of these lower wicks. 1.5 on AMD is a pretty major winner right there. Some of our guys played that one today. Really good call there. Netflix, we were looking for over under on the 226 right from the daily, or 226, yes, from the daily notes here. So over under on the 226 for the squeeze play here. Held the pre-market low, squeezed right up and over 226. Tons of volume, tons of progression. Could have gotten in that one even if you waited to the price target hit of 330, top of the gap here, pulled back down. We did come back down pretty close to 227, which was a major support, and then held that. So two different long plays called here on Netflix. A couple of members took this one too, even on the recovery of this weekly level of the, or daily I should say, of the 328.40. So really nice push and progress up there as well. So let's go back down to keep going through. CMG was actually a sellout today. We had that swing open here, and we stopped out early after it got closed under yesterday's lows, and then we called 790 as a bounce. So 11 points on that bounce play here. Got out of the swing for a small loss, and then unfortunately I didn't take this one, but a solid 11-12 points on that retrace for a 790 call intraday support there. So pretty nice call there on CMG. We did that one live, so not bad at all. Roku, it's a under over level at 106, big support 105.50. We'll look for support on the overlay 90 EMA trend. If we don't get it, it will go down. So this is what we looked for here on Roku. We played an early long on this one, right out of the gate. Major support was over under was 105.90s as well, but we looked for major pretty much 106 on Roku. That was the over under. So we caught a nice little long all the way up. The target for the long was 107.50. So right for the notes, or right for the breakdown as well, we called 106 or 107.50s as that target, pretty much right into the penny there. Created an M pattern here as we were kind of watching and then it snapped. Well, that became one of the main watches on the consolidation on this overlay line on this trend. So decided to chop. Had a ton of seller volume. Right as we started looking weak on this doji, we did enter a short and then covered a large portion down here. Then rolled the rest for a stop out up here, but I said just watch that 105.90 for retrace and then down again. We targeted 104.20 intraday on the short here, blue line of support per usual. Then that was off the watch as that. Put a couple really good moves there on Roku. Shopify is one of the major plays here today. I was long in, only got a small piece of this one because the market dump freaked me out, and we were coming down pretty bad here. But the 315 on the weekly doji there in Shopify, right from the daily notes, it says looking to see how 318.50 reacts, split resistance, which is a 318.50 up here in this green line, split resistance. 315 area support is daily doji body. Actually, it's supposed to be weekly. Looking for a test of a large buy zone of potential 310. As it did yesterday for a huge dip and then buy, but we're mainly looking for the doji recovery of the 315. So we played this one intraday a couple times. We had that big dump, and then right when it popped back up and over 315, we looked for that pullback. We got in some of these pullbacks, and I unfortunately exited down here for, it was only like a $30 or $40 winner or something like that on Shopify, but the market was dumping red real hard. I think it was real close to here. Nope, it's this one right here. When the market pulled real hard, so I didn't want this to get drug all the way back down and hold through, a volatile 1.5, 2, 3 point. It was only like a 50 share lot, but still. Then target was the 318.50. A couple other people waited a little bit longer for this one and then grabbed that continuation play and didn't get stopped out where I did and hit that target. Really nice 3-point target right there in Shopify. Really good. Lulu was one of the biggest plays today for a lot of guys. Doji on the daily, strength progression, 9 EMA, very simple play. This was bread and butter, main watch. Holding the top of the doji body for a breakout to all-time highs today. The daily note says, daily volume buy or beat, doji on the daily. Watch accordingly, bullish. So now we look for the center of the doji body to hold. Had that recovery, snapped the 200 EMA and held, and of course, right to all-time highs. So yesterday's highs was broken up and over on. You had a nice little 3-4 points there on Lulu, right from the daily notes, hour before open. Spotify, this was a fun one today. We were looking for a quick short in the morning. It was a fail of this little break gap. So push to 150 and then a short to 146 right from the daily note. So it says ER pulling down, mixed results, looking for a trace back up to 150s and then short to 146 target. There's big weekly support there, so don't short past that. So big weekly support right at the 146, clearly the bounce point. Here's the short, pop to the 150s to short. Had a couple different entries there. This was an M pattern fail, and then right here as it recovered pre-market, I said this M is not going to work out. I said it's going to be a long. Let's target 152. So I did get a little piece of this one on the uptrend here during our break. I think it was only about $150, but I took a small share lot and rode this one all the way back up to the 152 weekly resistance. Had a really nice retrace and reversal here. Pretty easy intraday call there. Not too bad on the levels. Nice and solid. But that's about all I got for you guys today. We had a couple other winners and losers there. Starbucks 96.40 and 96 support zones we were watching for swings. I actually haven't looked at that all day because I forgot about that live action rollers here. So, okay, so lost in the pre-market right at the 96. Yep, so we're going to look for the candle fill on the daily down to that gap range. We'll be watching the 95.25 coming up here soon for Starbucks. Hopefully it'll meet the 9 EMA quite soon at the bottom of that candle. We can get back in on a long play and ride this sucker back up from the ER spike. We called 100 on this one, only got to 99.72. Huge miss, 28 cents. Terrible. So that's all I got for you guys today. Stay tuned, and welcome to all the new members. He's a huge spike in member count there, and keep hitting me up on Instagram and stuff, and at BWelshBuilt. You guys are great. So looking forward to seeing you guys in the morning as well. So take care and stay green.